a lively young man from the south, and found his brain was less fleet than his mouth. Unwise was his boast, and now it could be he's toast, that unfortunate comical youth. But hark to the tale that we're telling, for Johnny, that's him, was not beat. So pour you another hot cider, and pull up a comfortable seat. Now, Old Nick liked to rattle off wordplay, and truth to tell, he was quite good. He could crack you a yoke and then fry you with jokes if he happened to be in the mood. When he heard Johnny spitting a couplet, he just knew that his lunch pail was full. The devil do revel when planning the bevel he'll cut in the head of a fool. Say, Johnny, he said, how's it going? I have a proposal for you. If you can improve on my humor, I'll improve your bank account too. Now, Johnny could punch up a speech at a wake, and he wallowed in puns like a hog. He could smoke you with glee and then roll up his sleeves. It's rumored he'd written for God. I'll take that bet, Johnny confided. I reckon I'm slicker than you. My wit is a bit more expansive. My encore is funnier too. The scene was a dark, stuffy cellar, just crammed with the great and the good. They toyed with their drinks, wore diamonds and minks, and were eager to get in the mood. The comedian's curse is to die while alive, an unspeakable thing while on stage. It happens to most. They are haunted by ghosts of the time when they couldn't engage. And the truth is, there are no exceptions. Not a comic abroad in the land is excepted from this. They have all had their miss, even those who are shiny and grand. So Johnny steps into the limelight. He flexes his banter and wit. He clobbers them all with the punchlines, but oddly, he can't seem to hit. He doubles down hard on a callback. This one was a hit in Des Moines, but no one at all was convulsed up with mirth. They just sit there, as shiny as coins. Now, Johnny knows something has got to hit home, or he's gonna be singing the blues. So he summons up all of his power, from his crown to the soles of his shoes, and delivers the mightiest joke in his rack. He has to give it one last try, and he breathlessly pauses out there on the stage to see if he lives or he dies. There's a hush, and dust falls from the ceiling like an earthquake has shaken the room, and poor Johnny just stands in the silence, and he's sure that this stage is his tomb. But just then, there's a snort of suppression, like the dam is about to give way, and a gathering current of titters and gasps that may yet come to save Johnny's day. And a man in the back, in a big purple hat, cannot take any more, and just roars. And his laughter splits open the spell on the crowd, and soon the whole room is just floored. But the devil is out in the wings, and he smiles, for he knows that it isn't enough. One good hit in a set won't win Johnny his bet. Poor Johnny is still in the rough. So the devil prepares to step out on the stage and fulfill the contract's final clauses, and he clutches the mic and grins into the light. But then Mephistopheles pauses. For it's true, as I've said, that in each comic's head is the memory of battles they've won, and it's truer to say that they've all had their day when they lost. The exceptions are none. And this eater of souls had eaten his bowl of humility back in the day on a circuit obscure, when his jokes were quite poor, and they hadn't the chutzpah to slay. And the memory rankled and festered with him, and he carried it round like a scab that won't heal, 'cause he picked at it nightly, whenever he felt kind of drab. And he paused, did Old Nick, for he saw in the dark, just beyond where the light brightly shone, a face that he knew. It was worn like a shoe, and he still had his purple hat on. And the memory came back to haunt him. He could feel his throat dry as a bone, for that man in the dark had been there on that night when the devil had sunk like a stone. He recalled how his mind had gone loco, how his memory packed up and left, how his well-prepared puns and catchphrases had upped sticks and left him bereft, how his repartee had up and parted, how his wit had gone AWOL that day. And the devil recalled it was bitter as gall to have died up on stage in that way. And the same man had had the compulsion to seek out entertainment tonight He had broken through Satan's enchantments to laugh. You know Nick doesn't like a clean fight. He'd broken through Curse Him and his purple hat to break Johnny's silencer him. The enchantment the devil had laid on the crowd might have held out and helped old Nick win. But Johnny had reaped up their laughter like corn when the summer is full, and now Satan had perforce to follow his act up on stage without looking a fool. And still he paused up there, clutching the mic like a drowning man clutches a straw, and a bead of sweat trembled on his upper lip as a murmur spread out on the floor. But each time he straightened and opened his lips to begin, he would catch the man's eye, or rather his hat, for it was kind of big, and he'd stand there and utter a sigh. And now twice, and now 3 times the devil began to enrapture the crowd with his wit, but each time he quite failed to begin, for that hat was distracting him more than a bit. And he couldn't get started. And out in the wings, the manager readied his hook. For a comic who's died must be swiftly deposed, or the club will take on their bad luck. And the hook snaked out long from the wings and the light, and it cast a dark shadow that grew in length as it traveled the width of the stage till it came up adjacent to... who? To that master of lies and destroyer of souls who dried up and died like a leaf, for old Nick was undone. He could not get out one of his jokes, and he sighed with relief when the hook pulled him in to atone for the sin of being up on the stage without warrant, for the manager took no great liking to duds, and he found their mere presence abhorrent. But the devil was glad to be shot of the light in his eyes and the nightmare of hats that would glow in the dark with the dim purple throb. Oh, anything, but please not that. And Johnny had found, and he was astounded, it seemed that he'd actually won. And the devil was writing a check in his name that left Johnny startled and stunned. And then Johnny sat thinking a minute, and he thought for a few minutes more, and he grabbed at the sleeve of the devil as he made his way out at the door. "Say," he said, "you just need you a writer. I could help you out mightily, Nick. For a purse of your money, I'll make you so funny, you'll drop 'em like flies with a brick." Now, the devil is no mean contriver of plans. When he wheedles to win, and the glint in his eye was not wholly surprising if you have had dealings with him. And he said, "Johnny, let us negotiate. I do like the cut of your jib, and we shall draw up such a contract as to make all the rest seem damp squibs." And so Johnny had entered a new kind of hell, filled with drafts and rewrites and revising. And the devil lay back and enjoyed the results he had right from the start been devising. All right, have a very happy Halloween, and don't have nightmares. Bye-bye.